All right, good evening. It's been a little bit, and really, I'm just trying to get everything packed up because I'm heading out of the office. But I had something I want to talk about today. So, like I've talked about before, everything here I'm sharing is kind of all just learning experience. So things I'm currently learning that I want to apply to the grind or ministry/business kind of thing, and that I also want to apply to whatever else I'm doing as well. But it's a learning experience for me, and I'm sure you can learn from it as well. So one of the things I've been super passionate about that I've kind of noticed is personality in a brand. So I'm gonna try to do this while I'm packing up. So kind of what I want to talk about today is what that means, explain what it is, give some examples of it, and talk about how it will help, maybe some prompts, and then see how that goes and helps, and maybe some ways I want to apply it to the grind. But I know it's something Gadis and I are pretty passionate about due to us having, our personalities that we want to really show forth in what we're doing, and that people kind of recognize us for, and that make us, unique in our way. That will make the coffee shop unique in its own way as well. So really the issue is businesses or brands tend to want to be really politically correct, bland. A good example of this is they want to be vanilla ice cream of the brand world, right? It's plain, it's simple, it's boring. Some people might love that, that's fine, that's on you. I, however, love mint chocolate chip ice cream. I will always go for mint chocolate chip ice cream. A lot of times when there is vanilla offered only, I don't even eat it. I don't care for it, I don't want it. I almost never eat vanilla ice cream. But going that route tends to lend you towards a very boring and bland brand, which sucks because it doesn't create emotion, excitement, anything that you would want out of your brand. That's a good positive thing to have. So you're not really building solid brand loyalty, building a champion for your brand. Someone's going to talk about it and fall in love with it and always go for those products. So the issue here is vanilla ice cream. That's what we're talking about. So how a brand is vanilla ice cream. But I'm gonna explain a little bit about this too, because I am also a consumer. There's brands that I love, people that I follow with their personal brands, companies that I love what they do. And if they have an awesome, brand personality, I tend to stick towards it and I don't move away because I fell in love with it. I had good first experience and that's everything. But I'm running a little bit behind and I have to get to the coffee shop, open it up, get myself some coffee. So let's elaborate on this on the way.
I belong to you.
Okay, well, that's really low. 1 second. Well, we got everything set up to go for now temporarily because we got to go to her sister's birthday dinner, and Sarah's holding down the fort. It's gonna be real bright. Here's my address.
Oh.
It's nice and foggy. Gotta love the Corpus humidity. Yeah, so I got my Dollar Shave Club one wipe Charlies.
Oh my god.
Anyways, so to continue what I was talking about with the personality and the brand, I wanted to kind of talk a little bit about some examples. So typically, I'm a consumer too, and I tend to, I think Denise can kind of attest to this too, especially with that one brand of coffee we saw. A lot of cussing in it. That was pretty hilarious.
Can I show you?
Yeah. I forgot my indie filter, so I'm breaking the rule and I'm cranking it right now. But we're just gonna go eat with her sister's birthday. Getting off topic. I keep doing that.
You keep talking about my sister. Are you excited more than she is?
I don't know. The last time that grease upset my stomach.
You disrespect Wingstop one more time.
Anyways, back to the subject. I was talking about how with brands, essentially, like whenever I go shopping or I'm looking for something new, with whatever I normally end up coming across with another brand, or I don't know it yet. I look for the personality of the brand and things to do that kind of align with me or excite me. Typically, if there's nothing like that, or it's just boring and real typical and generic, like vanilla ice cream, I'll just kind of pass it on and go somewhere else. And once I do come across something,
Yo también.
once I do come across something, babe, pay attention.
Car. I am paying attention. This car is going so slow.
I'm about to take over the drive.
Now it just heard all of my message and it sent it to Brenda.
He's never again.
You told me to drive.
Whenever I do come across a brand I like, then I tend to stick with it, based on its personality and things like that. So, how I love Dollar Shave Club because of their commercials and their personality and how they kind of handle things. And for example, Chubby's is another brand that I really liked. They're super fun. I love how they're like the anti-office thing, because I also don't like being in an office all day myself. And other things like that, and then people's personal brands too, like how for fitness I love going to Steve Cook and Calvin Von Mager because of their personalities, and another like freelancer, Paul Jarvis too. I love, I align with him a lot with how he likes the company of one mentality, and so things like that is whenever you find something that you really align with based on their personality and how the brand is, its values, how it portrays itself, and it's not bland, it aligns with my love for mint chocolate chip. That's the example. Then I'll stick with it and I'll pay a premium for it, and I won't go elsewhere. And that's kind of what I want to talk about. So don't be vanilla ice cream. With all that being said, thankfully I have Goodies here to help me out on this part too. Oh,
sorry, that car was so close.
Maybe thankfully I have her here. So what are some of the things that we kind of align with the grind? Well, one, we are faith-based. I guess kind of like company ministry thing. I guess brand is what I more like want to say. And we value relationships a lot. So making sure we do a good job at making you feel like a family and stuff like that. Another thing too is, with us, we're super casual, laid back, goofy at times. Goodies is really witty, especially whenever she talks and stuff like that. And she does these little puns all the time that I am terrible at, and me, I like to explain a lot. So we kind of blend both of those things of being explaining stuff thoroughly in a funny and relaxed and easy to understand way. Is what we normally do, like on some of our topics. We also love caffeine, and we love downtime and relaxing. We believe really strongly in that. It's because of us always working a lot and stuff. So that's why we purposely made the grind hard to get work done at. And every time I try to get work done there, it's almost impossible. So it looks like we're doing a pretty good job at it. We also believe in the sharing of information. I think me and her both do. I know I love learning a lot, and I love presenting that knowledge as much as I can, just like how we're doing here. I think you kind of feel the same way, right?
I think you like helping people.
Yeah, right. I think you like helping people. And those are some of the, I guess, the things we kind of do. But as part of the brand personality, we really bring out the traits of how we explain things, how our stuff is really witty and laid back. We don't take a conventional approach to ministry in a way. We blend our silly love for coffee and how we do things with ministry as well. So we just got down and grabbed something real fast. But I talked a little bit about the grind's values, and here's some of mine too, since this is my YouTube channel, I guess. But I also love minimalism a lot, and you might see that throughout here too, because like I mentioned in a couple of other videos before, that I'm moving into a studio because I like the small feel. I like the challenge of making something efficient out of a small space, and I love when other people do. That's why I love tiny homes, things like that. So you see me wearing a lot of plain tees. However, that doesn't translate into my shoes because I love sneakers. So I like to kind of have the clothing simple, and then the shoes do the talking there.
But minimalist art, I love that as well. Even older comic art, because it is a little bit simpler. Modern contemporary design, because it's by nature simpler. And then, things like with business, and like I mentioned earlier with Paul Jarvis, his company of one mentality. I realized I kind of had those thoughts, and then reading that book really cemented a lot of them, and understanding how to kind of compress it. And so you might just see some of that here as well. But back to the grind. And so the thing is that it's kind of scary to draw a line in the sand about your brand, and really create polarization, right? So really showcase those values. It's just because it's your business, your livelihood, all those things. And I'm sure most people are afraid to alienate a certain group or whatever, because most people want to reach everyone, right? But however, no one ever can. And if you end up trying to please everyone, you have something that's super bland, because it doesn't really deal with anything, I guess. But when you create that polarization, you stand for what you believe in, you showcase your values, your personality, then you will alienate another group, and that's fine, because a lot of times you can't please them anyways, or they're going to be on the fence, just things like that. And the people that do agree with you, your people, your tribe, your culture, the consumer, you'll become a beacon for them. They'll champion for your brand. They'll love you, and you can also have something that you're proud of as well. You're passionate about. So you're passionate about your brand, your business, whatever you're doing, that essentially has a brand with it. And remember, a brand is essentially a gut feeling that someone has about something, not necessarily what you say about it. And so it's really consumer heavy, and how they feel, how they react. And you're going to get that reaction through your taking your stand, showcasing your personality, the value, and all that. Gotta love these car talks. I feel like I'm always in a car every time I'm doing this. So hopefully I kind of explained those right. But now I kind of want to talk about the benefits of going this route and doing the brand personality thing. So one that I already kind of mentioned is the vanilla ice cream. For me, the vanilla ice cream to mint chocolate chip version. So one, if I go somewhere and there's vanilla ice cream, I don't get it. I don't care for it. It's just bland, it's boring. I'd rather have something else that's unique, a specialty flavor, like mint chocolate chip ice cream, or like Rocky Road, or things like that, double dark chocolate. And I will pay extra for that, and without even hesitation. Well, one, because my sweet tooth is just ridiculous, so probably not a great thing, but I try to manage it. But there's that example, and so that kind of also goes with the rest of the things. So whenever you're offering a product that really aligns with that person, you will pay extra for it. The customer will pay extra for it. I'll pay extra for it. So there's a little bit about the benefits, but we're about to go eat, so I'll be right back, because I'm hungry, and wings sound okay. Not necessarily like a wing lover, but I'm hungry, so be right back.
Hi. We've never really taken time to read.
Look, yeah.
I had to do it to them.
Are y'all ready for Denny's? Yep. You going?
Yes, we're going.
Thanks. Well, okay, back at the house now. As you can see, got a lot of boxes behind me. Everything's a little mess right now. I guess it makes a good backdrop. As you can see, as I mentioned, I do have a love for shoes, and it's kind of right there. But kind of in the middle of moving out, so it's just a lot of craziness going on right now. But I kind of wanted to leave you with a couple of things to think about. So how can you infuse your own distinct personality into your brand or product or image? So that's one thing to think about. Jot down some ideas, go through that, and maybe you'll come up with some pretty interesting things. Another thing is, where could you lean on your business or product that is quirky or makes you different and stand out in the marketplace? So something to grab attention, because one thing I didn't quite mention earlier that I wanted to list as a benefit also was that using that polarization can actually help garner more attention and buzz around your product, your brand, without the need for spending ad revenue or money. So just because of the nature of the polarization, just getting feedback on it, comments, people talking about it, sharing it, anything like that. Polarization will normally tend to serve emotion, which the emotion then creates the reactions for that stuff to happen without you throwing money at the problem. The goal here is to do a lot of stuff without throwing money at it. One, because we don't really have money to throw at problems because of what we set out to do and where I'm also at in my professional career. So to kind of recap everything, I've kind of talked about the personality of brand, what it is, what it means, why it's important. Also kind of went through some of my beliefs, my stances, values, some of the grinds as well, since I wanted to take you through this whole learning process, and maybe you'll start to see some of these things get projected more as well, and everything I'm producing or what I create for the grind, things like that. Also started kind of talking about why it helps, and then you have those 2 prompts there to maybe think about, jot down some ideas, and get you going on that. So hopefully this helps you out, because the worst case scenario is that you generate a product or a brand that pretty much you get no feedback, whether positive or negative, because that means you created something that essentially no one cares about. There's no emotion in it. They don't care enough to either negatively or positively talk about it, which is pretty bad, because then you have nothing at all essentially. At least with negative feedback, you create something that can be fixed, changed, but people still care about it. Positive, obviously it's good. Yeah. So guys, in conclusion, don't be vanilla ice cream. Go towards your favorite ice cream. So mine's like mint chocolate chip, things like that. Mainly things with chocolate, I'll end up just buying no hesitation. So don't be vanilla ice cream. Like, subscribe, stick around. Let me know this helped you out. If you want me to elaborate on some specific questions, scenarios, let me know in the comments below. I'll get back at them, and hopefully I can provide some more insightful stuff. If not, I'll look into it more for you and hopefully get an answer. And I'll be honest if I don't know, because I'm still learning too. So yeah, good luck guys. So good luck with whatever you're doing, your venture, brand, personal brand, whatever it is. Just be yourself. Don't be vanilla. So later guys, good night. It's late here and I still have to get stuff ready for moving. So see you in the next one.